Hello, dear students. I am Dr. Rohit Kumar Agrawal, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Shri RLT College of Science, Akola. In previous lecture, we have seen about the Newton's laws of gravitation and acceleration due to gravity. In this lecture, we will study about the gravitational field, gravitational potential, and Gauss theorem. Gravitational field, the region around a body within which gravitational force of attraction can be experienced is called as a gravitational field. The intensity of gravitational field is defined as a gravitational force experienced by a unit mass of body placed at a given point in a gravitational field of the particle. The gravitational field at a point E and the force acting on mass m is given by F is equal to m into E. Therefore, E is equal to F by m, and which is equal to capital E is equal to minus Gm upon R square. The intensity of gravitational field E is a vector quantity. It is the direction of E is same as that of F, that is force. The SI unit is given by Newton per kg. The intensity of gravitational field is also defined as the negative gravitational potential gradient, that is E is equal to minus dV upon dr. The intensity of gravitational field E on the surface of the earth is minus Gm upon r square, where capital M is the mass of the earth and capital R is the radius of the earth. Therefore, E is directly proportional to 1 upon r square. From this, we can say that the shape of the earth is elliptical and not a perfect sphere. It is a flattened at the poles. So, the equatorial radius of the earth is more than its polar radius. And so, from this, the intensity of gravitational field of the earth is maximum at the poles. Now, gravitational potential. Gravitational potential at a point is defined as the work done in bringing a unit mass of a body from infinity to that point against the gravitational force. Against the gravitational force. Therefore, gravitational potential is given by capital V is equal to minus Gm upon R. It is a scalar quantity. Gravitational potential due to spherical shell at a point outside the shell. Consider a thin uniform spherical shell of mass m and radius r. Let P be any point outside the spherical shell at a distance r from the center O. Let rho be the mass per unit area of the surface. Now draw two planes AB and CD very close to each other perpendicular to OP. Perpendicular to OP. These two planes gives the slice of radius. This is the slice of radius AH. AH and width AC. Join OA and OC. Let angle AOP is equal to theta, this angle, and angle AOC is d theta. Width of slice AC, this AC is equal to r d theta. The radius of the slice AH is equal to r into sine theta. Therefore, circumference of slice is equal to twice pi AH is equal to twice pi r into sine theta. Now, the surface area of slice is given by twice pi r sine theta into r d theta. From this, we can get 2 pi r into this r is r square sine square theta d theta. Therefore, mass of slice n is given by twice pi r square sine theta into d theta into rho. Therefore, the gravitational potential at point P due to this slice, that is dV, will be given by dV is equal to minus gm upon x, and which is equal to minus gm. Put the value of m, capital M over here. You will get g in bracket twice pi r square sine theta into d theta into rho upon x, which is equal equation number 1. Now, to end the value of x, we proceed as follows, that is in triangle AOP. In triangle AOP, using cosine law, you will get x square is equal to r, capital R square plus r square minus twice r into cos theta. On differentiating, we get twice x dx is equal to twice r sine theta into d theta. Therefore, x is equal to 2 will get cancelled, r into r sine theta into d theta upon dx. Putting the value of x in equation 1, putting this value of x in equation 1 over here, you will get dv is equal to minus g in bracket twice pi r square into sine theta d theta into rho into dx upon r into r sine theta d theta. Therefore, from this we will get minus g in bracket twice pi r rho dx upon r, which is equation number 2. In order to find the gravitational potential P due to spherical shell, we have to integrate the upper equation, that is equation number 2, within the limit x is equal to minus r small r minus r to x is equal to r plus r. Then we get v is equal to minus integration from minus small r minus r to r plus r g in bracket twice pi r rho upon r into dx. From this we get v is equal to minus g 2 pi r rho upon r integration into dx. This is the constant quantity, and you will get dx, which is outside the integration, and integration over r minus r to r plus r into dx, which is equal to minus g 2 pi r rho upon x upon r twice r, means over integration of this x, and you will get, put the value of integration, you will get in twice r. Therefore, from this we can write minus g 4 pi r square rho upon r. But mass of whole shell is capital M. Therefore, we get 4 pi r square into rho, and therefore from this we get v is equal to minus g m upon r. Now, gravitational potential and intensity due to uniform solid sphere at a point outside the sphere. In previous we have seen inside the solid sphere, it is point outside the sphere. Consider a point P outside the solid sphere at a distance r, from the center O. Divide the solid sphere into large number of thin concentric spherical shell of mass m1, m2, m3 and so on. Now, the gravitational potential at P due to the whole solid sphere is equal to the addition of all the potential due to the concentric shell. Therefore, from this we get capital V is equal to minus gm1 upon r plus gm2 upon r plus gm3 upon r plus and so on, which is equal to, take minus g upon r common, you will get m1 plus m2 plus m3 and so on. Therefore, from this we get minus g capital M upon r. The intensity of gravitational field is given by E is equal to minus dV upon r dr, which is equal to minus ddr in bracket minus gm upon r, which is nothing but which is equal to minus gm upon r square. Now, the gravitational potential and intensity at point on the surface of the solid sphere is given by the putting the values of small r is equal to capital R in this previous equation. Therefore, of V and E, we get V is equal to minus gm upon r, which is equal to E is equal to minus gm upon r square. Now, the gravitational potential at point inside the solid sphere. Now, consider a solid sphere of radius capital R and its density is rho. Let capital P be any point inside the sphere at a distance r. At a distance r, this distance r from the center O of the sphere. Now draw a sphere of O. Draw a sphere of O as a center and its radius is OP. This center is radius capital OP is equal to small r. Now here point P lies of the solid sphere radius r. Now also the point P lies inside the spherical shell of the internal radius small r and external radius is capital R. Therefore, volume of inner solid sphere is given by 4 by 3 pi r cube and its mass of inner solid sphere is given by 4 by 3 pi r cube into rho. Therefore, the gravitational potential P at point P due to the inner solid sphere is given by V1 is equal to minus g upon r in bracket 4 by 3 pi r cube into rho, means this value. Therefore, from this we get minus g in bracket 4 by 3 pi r cube into rho. Now to find the gravitational potential V2 due to the outer spherical shell, draw two concentric spheres of radius x and x plus dx give the spherical shell of thickness dx. Therefore, from this the surface area of spherical shell is given by 4 pi x square. Volume of spherical shell is given by 4 pi x square into dx. Mass of shell is given by 4 pi x square dx into rho. Therefore, the gravitational potential at point P due to this shell is given by minus g upon x in bracket 4 pi x square dx into rho. Therefore, from this we get minus g 4 pi rho x dx. Therefore, now the gravitational potential at point P due to the spherical shell of inner radius, means internal radius r and the external radius capital R is given by V2 is equal to integration from small r to capital R minus g 4 pi rho x into dx. Take constant term outside the integration, then therefore we get V2 is equal to minus g in bracket 4 pi rho in integration r to capital R x into dx. Therefore, on solving this equation we get minus g in bracket 4 pi rho in bracket capital R square minus small r square upon 2. Therefore, on solving this we will get minus g twice pi rho in bracket capital R square minus small r square, which is equation number 2. Now, the total gravitational potential at point P inside the solid sphere is given by capital V is equal to V1 plus V2. Therefore, on addition of V1 plus V2 we get minus g 4 by 3 pi r square rho minus g twice pi rho r square minus small r square. On solving this we get minus g twice pi rho in bracket 2 by 3 r square plus r square minus small r square. Therefore, from this we can get the values minus twice pi rho g thrice r square minus small r square upon 3. Therefore, on putting this value we will get minus g 4 by 3 pi r cube into rho in bracket thrice capital R square minus small r square upon twice r cube. Now, this value means 4 by 3 pi r cube into rho is capital M. Therefore, we will get the values. If we put this capital M over here in this value, in this equation, therefore equation will become minus gm in bracket thrice capital R square minus small r square upon twice r cube. This is equation number 3. Now, the intensity of gravitational field inside the solid sphere is given by E is equal to minus dV upon dr. Therefore, on putting this value of V over in this equation, that is at this equation, that is E is equal to minus dV upon r, Therefore, we get minus d upon r in bracket minus gm thrice r square minus r square upon twice r cube. On solving this equation, you will get minus gm upon r twice r cube into twice r, which is nothing but E is equal to minus g capital M upon r cube into r. Now, Gauss laws of gravitation. The Gauss law of gravitation is defined as, or it can be stated as, the total gravitational flux over a closed surface in a gravitational field is equal to minus 4 pi g times the total mass enclosed by that surface, where this capital M is the total mass enclosed by the surface. The word flux is in a gravitational flux to the flux of gravitational field comes from the Latin word, and its meaning is flux is to flow. Actually, nothing is flowing in gravitational field. We can define a quantity similar to flux of fluid and call it as a flux of gravitational field. Mathematically, flux through an area is the product of area and the average normal component of gravitational field throughout that area. Now, the normal component means the component of field along normal drawn from to the surface area. The gravitational flux, that is flux phi, is the field line through a spherical surface of radius small r. The gravitational field E at a distance r from mass capital M is given by vector E is equal to minus gm upon r square. If the direction of E and normal drawn to the surface is not same, then the value of component E along the normal is given by E into cos theta. Therefore, the gravitational flux through small area ds is equal to normal component E into area. On putting this value, we will get, means normal component is nothing but E into cos theta into area means ds. And therefore, total gravitational flux is given by integration E cos theta into dx. For Earth, the direction of E means gravitational field intensity and normal drawn to the surface of the Earth is same. That is, theta is equal to 0, cos theta is equal to 1. Also, integration ds is equal to 4 pi r square. Therefore, total gravitational flux is given by E in integration into ds. Therefore, put the value of E. E is nothing but minus gm upon r square into ds means 4 pi r square. Therefore, you will get minus 4 pi gm. This is the Gauss law.